Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to another video. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Aisha and I kind of make funny videos sometimes, and every Sunday I have decided to make a true crime or a true story video while doing my makeup, while basically experimenting with my makeup. And yes, I have been consistent for the past 3 weeks now, so yay. Anyways, today's case is actually suggested by Fatma Kaval Beg. Thank you so much. And today's case revolves around Karachi. So yes, Lahoris, you can take a breather because today's case is not about Lahore. The previous two cases that I covered were both from Lahore. I just want to say a few things before jumping into this case. So there was this person, and she said to me that you do good makeup, and she basically said that true crime or these stories and makeup is not going well together. So I was just thinking, there are tons of makeup artists and bloggers who make videos while doing their makeup, and just telling their products, like, this brush is this palette is that, this foundation is this. And this is sort of something new, especially in Pakistan. So if you think that this is not something for you, it's okay, you don't have to watch it. But this is something that I like to do. Makeup and true crime, both are the things that I like to do. So I'm just gonna keep on doing it, and majority of you people are really enjoying them and really liking them. Kind of watched some of my videos, and I noticed that in some videos I have really dark, like, these big dark circles. And in reality I don't have that much, इतने ज़्यादा dark circles नहीं है मेरे, I swear. So yeah, it's basically because of the lighting. Today I placed my light a little higher, and in previous video I placed it a little lower. These are some mistakes that I know I might be doing because this is the first time I'm making these videos. So in today's video I will cover the case of the Hathoda group, the Chadda group. Yeah, you heard me right, Chadda group. And two other cases which I don't believe are cases, they are probably rumors, but while I was, researching through the Hathoda group case, I came across these other three cases, including the Chadda group. And yes, I also got a suggestion that if I could show you something different while doing my makeup. This is basically the usual thing that I like to do. I like to do my brows first and then my eyeshadow. So, okay, I'll try to cover my dark circles today, using the color correcting technique. So, let's talk about the Hathoda group. So, in the 1980s, now this was the time in Pakistan when General Zia-ul Haq was in power, and there was a sudden influx of Afghan refugees in Karachi during the Afghan Civil War. Now, among these refugees, there were basically gangs and mafia groups that dealt in guns and all sorts of drugs. Now, because of all these gangs and mafia groups, who basically brought all these drugs and weapons and all sorts of these things in Karachi, there was a rapid rise in heroin addiction in Karachi, and soon Karachi became the place where there was the second largest heroin addicts next to USA, which was at the top. Soon there began episodes of robberies, smuggling, looting, land grabbing, and all kinds of, these crimes. They started happening in Karachi. And while all of this was happening, there appeared several dead bodies in the city of Karachi. Now in 1985, police were shocked and alarmed by finding all of these dead bodies, and they all were killed in a similar manner. And these dead bodies, they were found in different areas of Karachi. Like, all of these dead bodies, they were not found at one place, they were just scattered all over Karachi. Okay, now here's the sad part. All of the victims, they were homeless people, and they were beggars and street urchins. By now, the cases that I've covered, they all involve homeless people. All of them are innocent. Like, what's their crime? That they don't have a home? Why do these people target them? Because they're easy, they're just there. I feel really sad, honestly. Now, in the late 1985, when the number of these victims rose to 7, The police theorized that this was done by a single person, by a serial killer, but this theory soon evolved or changed when a victim survived this brutal attack. So, this victim, now he said that he was sleeping on the footpath of Burns Road of Karachi, and it was between 2 a.m. that he saw a car that came towards him, and he said that he was half awake when he saw four men coming out of this car, and they were all dressed in white and they had black face masks on, and one of them took out a hammer and hit him on the head, and he passed out almost bleeding to death. So now the police, they got a lead that okay, this is not a single person, this is not a serial killer, this is the work of at least four men. So when the media, when they reported this, they started to call this group of people as the Hathoda group or the Hammer group. So the killings subsided for a while. Obviously, maybe these people, the Hathoda group people, they got panicked because someone witnessed them, but they came back. They came back in the late 1986, and they started murdering these people in the same manner again with a heavy hammer and a single blow to their heads. So this group, they were just basically getting away with all these murders, and the authorities kept on failing, and they were failing at trying to find out who these people are. And obviously, while all this was going on, several theories started to form. So I came across at least 3 theories that people believed in. And the first theory is, before starting the first theory, this is something different that I'm doing today. It's color correcting, all my dark circles and my discoloration, or, you basically take a reddish or an orange color and it can hide your dark circles. I've experimented with this, and I had like a orangish shade of lipstick that I'd never used. So I just use it for my color correcting now. So some of the people believed that this was being done deliberately to, spread fear and chaos throughout Karachi, or to distract the media from all the ethnic turmoil and the rising episodes of crimes that were being done in Karachi. Another theory is that some people labeled them as the death squad, who were basically getting rid of the addicts, with the rising and the growing heroin addiction and other drug addictions in Karachi, and they were just there to get rid of these people. Now the third theory is, and I kid you not, some people believe that this was the work of a satanic cult. Now there was an English newspaper, and they reported that several cults are forming and they're indulging or engaging in several mysterious rituals. Now they were pointing towards some groups of people who became exceedingly rich overnight, and these people, they would form secret groups and secret societies, kind of like what cults do. So why did this reporter say this? Well, he said that once he saw a group of people, and these people, they were dressed in long white cloaks, and cult alert. So that was pretty much about it for the Hathoda group, because to this day it has never been solved. It's an unsolved case, and we basically will never know who this Hathoda group or Hathoda gang is. I think if maybe there was a better job from the authorities' side, maybe we would have known who this gang or group was. Okay, moving on towards the Chadda group. I'm sorry, the name is so funny. I know I shouldn't be laughing, comparing to what they did. But why the Chadda group? Chadda actually means shorts or underwear in Urdu. That's why I'm laughing. They could have picked a better name, So in the 1990s, wait a minute. So back in the 90s, there began a series of crimes. So I'm finally done with this look. Now I can focus more on the story. So back in the 90s, there began a series of crimes, basically stealing and rape and murder, and they were committed by a group of young boys. Now, I don't know exactly how many boys they were or how many boys it took to form this group, but it has been reported that these boys, they were just slide under the doors and the windows, or the unlocked doors of some certain houses, and they would then go and they would steal, basically do a robbery of that place, and then they would rape the victims and then they would murder them. Most of the witnesses claim that these boys, they were wearing nothing except for shorts or underwears, and their whole body appeared as if they were drenched in oil. I'm not kidding. Their whole bodies were drenched in oil, and it was rumored that they drenched their bodies in oil so that if their victims try to catch them, or if they grab them, then they would somehow get away, because their bodies will be slippery. So based on all this knowledge, they were termed as the Chadda group. I mean, this group seems more creepier and scarier compared to the Hathoda group. I mean, can you imagine a group of people in their underwears and drenched in dalda? I won't. So anyways, these were the two unsolved mysteries and unsolved cases. Now the next two basically stories, I would say, because they're not true. I think they're sort of rumored. Now there was this one rumor that circulated in Karachi, and I read this in an article, and it said that a bunch of friends, they went to the Devil's Point. Now the Devil's Point is a beach in Karachi. So at Devil's Point, these group of friends, they saw an old man, and this old man has been reported to be seen by a number of people, and they claim that this man sits in the sea on a chair. He sits on a chair that's basically in the sea, and he seems to be reading the Holy Quran backwards. Now, a few of these people believe that this person might be indulging in black magic, or maybe it's a mythical creature, or maybe it's not human at all. I don't know. But that was one of the stories that I read while searching for the Hathoda group. Now, the fourth story says that, now this also started circulating in Karachi. It says that there was a group of people back in the early 2000s that basically hunted for women who were not covered properly. If the women, they were wearing half sleeves or even sleeveless shirts, this group of men, they would stab the arms of the women with a HIV infected blade. Yes, I'm not kidding. So the women of that time, they were advised to wear long sleeves and just basically clothes in general that cover your whole body, because it was rumored that if you even show a certain part of your body, you might get stabbed with an HIV infected blade. But I don't know, these two stories, they just seem like stories. I don't think they're true cases or anything. I think the Chadda group might traumatize me for a while. And this old man story, it's kind of creepy, I mean, just imagine you go to a beach at night and you see an old man, and he's reading the Quran backwards. Oh my god. Black magic. So that concludes today's video. I hope you like it, and please subscribe my channel. And if you have friends who are interested in true crime like me, please do share my video with them. And I think in today's video I couldn't add my my opinion and my thoughts that I add at the end of cases, because today's case is an unsolved mystery or unsolved mysteries. Inshallah, the next case that I will cover, I will try to add what the Quran and Hadith say regarding these cases. So thank you so much, Fatma, for suggesting me this case. And if you guys have any suggestions that you would like me to cover, please comment down below, and I will list all the products that I use for my makeup on my Instagram page. Please follow me there, and please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and do let me know what you think of today's cases. And we will hopefully meet in the next video, inshallah. I mean, yay, I've been consistent. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.